Hi children, good morning everyone. This is your Priya ma'am from Alpha Group of Institutions. So today we are going to discuss about the second part in Geography Unit 2, Climate and Natural Vegetation of India. So in the Unit 1, we have discussed the last session regarding the factors affecting the climate, latitude and then altitude, distance from the sea, then monsoon wind, relief, jet streams, and 2.2 is about monsoons. So seasons, monsoon means seasons, that is of 4 types. First one is winter or cold weather season. Second one is summer or pre-monsoon or hot weather season. Third one, southwest monsoon or rainy season. And the fourth one is northeast monsoon season or post monsoon season or retreating season. So we have completed with this in the last session, and today we are going to discuss 2.3, 2.4 and 2.5, and with this the unit 2 will be completed. Okay. So first 2.3, distribution of rainfall. The average annual rainfall of India is 118 centimeter. However, spatial distribution of rainfall in the country is highly uneven. So what is uh, average rainfall in India, children? The average rainfall in India, annual rainfall in India is 118 centimeters. So the equal distribution of rainfall in the country is distribution of rainfall in the country is uneven, not even moderate, highly uneven. Like about 11% of area receives over 200 centimeters of annual rainfall. So in our India, 11% of area receives how much centimeter? 200 centimeter of annual rainfall. 21% area receives 125 to 200 centimeters. 37% area receives 75 to 100 and 125 centimeters. You have to underline all these points. 24% area gets 35 to 75 centimeters and 7% area gets less than 35 centimeters. So children, if you notice the percentage on our Indian areas, 11% area, 21%, 24%, and the centimeters of rainfall is like 125 to 200, 275 to 125, all these, is it even? So it is uneven. So it is unevenly, the annual rainfall is unevenly distributed all over the India, the annual rainfall. The western coast, Assam, South Meghalaya, Tripura, Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh are the heavy rainfall areas which get more than 200 centimeters rainfall. So what are those, ma? The western coast, Assam, South Meghalaya, Tripura, Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh. All these 6 states are reported as heavy rainfall areas. So there they will get more than 200 centimeters rainfall. The whole of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, western and southern parts of Uttar Pradesh, western Madhya Pradesh and entire Deccan Tract of Plateau region east of Western Ghats, except for a narrow strip along with Tamil Nadu coast, receive a lower rainfall of less than 100 centimeters. The rest of the areas receive a rainfall ranging between 100 and 200 centimeters. So all these places were reported like having rainfall which is less than 100 centimeters. So we are also in this region only, children, we get less than 100 centimeters of rainfall. Okay. Now 2.4. 2.4 is about natural vegetation. So next 2.4 is natural vegetation. Natural vegetation refers to a plant community unaffected by man either directly or indirectly. It has its existence in certain natural environment. Environment. Children, environment these days, this word has changed according to the English, it's called as environment. So the natural vegetation means it refers to a plant community which was not affected by man either directly or indirectly. So it has their own natural environment. So the natural vegetation includes all plant life forms such as trees, bushes, herbs and forbs, etc. that grow naturally in an area and have been left undisturbed by the humans for a long time. So natural vegetation is a plant community. It means trees will comes under natural vegetation, bushes, herbs, small plants, grass, everything comes under natural vegetation. What all the green things related to the plant community is called natural vegetation, and these natural vegetation which are not disturbed by the humans for a long time, like the forest areas, right children? All these forest areas, these humans will not go very often to the forest, right? So we will not go and disturb them. So those undisturbed areas which are not disturbed by the humans for a long time of natural vegetation, okay? And here climate, soil and landform characteristics are the important environmental controls of natural vegetation. So what are those three things? Climate, soil and landform. Characteristics of landform are the important environmental natural controls for natural vegetation. Only these are having their influence on the natural vegetation and not from the humans. Okay. On the basis of the above factors, the natural vegetation of India can be divided into the following type. So on the basis of this climate, soil and landform and all these things, this natural vegetation is divided into the following types. So children, this is the map for your reference on natural vegetation of India. Okay, this is for your reference, and here the color were given according to this forests like coastal forests, tropical forests, etc. You can refer this map for your reference. Okay. Now let us see the types of natural vegetation. First one is tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forest. These forests are found in areas with 200 centimeters or more annual rainfall. This tropical evergreen forest will get more 200 or more than 200 centimeter annual rainfall every year, and the annual temperature is about more than 22 degrees C, and average annual humidity exceeds 70% in this region. So the annual temperature is 22 C and annual humidity is what? 70% in this region. And Western Ghats in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Andaman Nicobar Island, Assam, West Bengal, Nagaland, Tripura, Mizoram, Manipur and Meghalaya states have this type of forest. So all these places are having these tropical evergreen forests. They will be having more rainfall. The most important trees are rubber, mahogany, ebony, rosewood, coconut, bamboo, cinchona, candice, palm, ironwood and cedar. These have not been fully exploited due to lack of transport facilities. And so these trees are mostly grown in these forests, tropical evergreen forests, and they are not disturbed because of the transport facilities of the humans. So they are not fully they are not destroyed by our human, okay, only because the transport system is very less in these forest areas. Okay children. Now the next one is tropical deciduous forests. These tropical deciduous forests are found in the areas with 100 to 200 centimeters annual rainfall, and these are called monsoon forests. And here if you see, in tropical evergreen forest the rainfall is 200 centimeters or more than 200 centimeters. But here in tropical deciduous forest the annual rainfall is 100 to 200 centimeters annual. And these tropical deciduous forests are also called as monsoon forest. The mean annual temperature of this region is about 270 C and the average annual relative humidity is 60 to 70%. The trees of these forests drop their leaves during the spring and early summer. So these tropical deciduous forests, the trees which are living in these forests, they leave their leaves. They drop their leaves in the spring season and the starting of the summer seasons, early summer. Sub-Himalayan region from Punjab to Assam, Great Plains. Great Plains are in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal. And Central India, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, South India, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Kerala states are notable for this type of natural vegetation. So all these places were noted under noted for what? This type of natural tropical deciduous forest, this type of natural vegetation. Teak and sal are the most important trees. Sandalwood, rosewood, kusum, mahua, palas, haldu, amla, padak, bamboo and tendu or the other trees of economic importance. All these trees like sandal, rosewood, you know guys, these are very expensive wood which today we cannot get in the market also, right? These are very expensive and also the cutting of these trees is illegal and these were used for economic importance. These forests are also this forest provides what? Fragrant oil, varnish, sandal oils and perfume. So why these trees are and these forests are expensive? Because we are getting many like cosmetics, oils like fragrant oils, perfume, sandalwoods and also wood from that. So that is why these were expensive. Now let us discuss about the tropical dry forest. These are found in the areas with 50 to 100 centimeter annual rainfall. So if you notice, first type of forest is having 200 and more than 200, second one is 200 and this tropical dry forest is having 50 to 100 centimeter annual rainfall. They represent a transitional type of forest. These are found in East Rajasthan. These tropical dry forests are found in where? East Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, Western Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Eastern Maharashtra, Telangana, West Karnataka and East Tamil Nadu. So these tropical dry forests were found in these places. The important species are mahua, banyan, amalthus, palas, haldu, kikar, bamboo, babul, khair, etc. Desert and semi-desert vegetation. So these are also called as tropical thorn forest. Okay. The plants which grow in these areas are these types of plants and the desert and semi-desert vegetation are also called as these types of forests are also called as tropical thorn forest and these are found in the areas having annual rainfall of less than 50 centimeter. They have low humidity and high temperature. So these tropical dry areas, these lands, they will get very less rainfall, that is less than 50 centimeters. They will be having, those areas have very low humidity and high temperature. Okay. Now these forests are found in northwest India, which includes West Rajasthan, southwest Haryana, north Gujarat and southwest Punjab. Children, you have to remember all these places very carefully. These forests are found, where are these forests found? Mainly northwest India, which includes West Rajasthan, southwest Haryana, north Gujarat and southwest Punjab. And they are also found in the very dry parts of the Deccan Plateau in Karnataka, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. Bubble, kikar and wild palms are common trees found here. So, some dry parts in our south side is like in Deccan Plateau. So, some dry parts of the Deccan Plateau in Karnataka, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh in those areas, babul, kikar and wild palms were commonly grown in those areas. Okay guys. So this is mountain and montane forest. This mountain and montane forest can be described with this graph structure. You can see with this here children. This is high altitude zone of forest. These forests are classified on the basis of altitude and amount of rainfall. These were classified on the basis of altitude and amount of rainfall. Accordingly, two different types of forests, namely Eastern Himalayas forest and Western Himalayas forest. So now these are the things children. So 0 meters means sub-equatorial rainforest, 1000 is for evergreen subtropical forest, 2000 is for deciduous broadleaf forest, 3000 coniferous forest, 4000 is subalpine meadows, 5000 for alpine meadows, 6000 for eternal snows and glaciers. Now, these are the two things in mountain and mountain or montane forest. What are the two different types of forest, namely Eastern Himalayas forest and Western Himalayas forest. So, Eastern Himalayan forest. These Eastern Himalayan forests are found on the slopes of the mountains in northeast states. Where they were found? They are found in the northeast states, the slopes of the mountains. And these forests receive rainfall of more than 200 centimeters. So these forests were found in the slopes of the mountain, and also they receive the rainfall of more than 200 centimeters. The vegetation is of evergreen type. The vegetation will be very green. The altitude between 1200 to 2400 meters found in this type of forest sal, oak, laurel, amura, chestnut, cinnamon are the main trees from 1200 to 2400 meter altitude. Oak, beech, silver, fir, pine, spruce and juniper are the major trees from 2400 to 3000 meter height. So, according to these 2500 to 3000. So, in these are the areas, look here children, coniferous forest, deciduous broad forest, evergreen. These are three or the categories where we find all these plants. Okay, all these trees. According to the height, you can refer to the, like they have given 1200 to 2400 means 1200 to 2000. Between these areas, these plants will be grown, these trees will be grown. Okay. So you have to refer those names with this graph. I think this is not there in your textbook. It is for your easy reference. While you are reading this, when you just go through that graph, it will be easy for you to understand the concept, children. So, Western Himalayan forest. The rainfall of this region is moderate. These forests are found in the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. So, Western Himalayan forest means here the rainfall is not very low or not very high, it will be very moderate. And these forests are found in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Up to 900 meter altitude, semi-desert vegetation is found and it is known as bushes and small trees. Up to 900 meters altitude. And in altitude from 900 to 1800, chir tree is the most common tree. Chir tree is the most common tree. The other important trees of this region are sal, semal, dag, jamun and jujube. Height from 1800 to 3000 meter is covered with semi-temperature coniferous forest. Chir, deodar, blue pine, poplar, birch and elder are the main trees of the region. So, all these are about the altitudinal heights and the plant and trees varieties which will be what are grown according to the altitudinal heights, children. So, you can read this and refer to this graph given here. Okay, you will be having a clear structure. Now, while talking about the alpine forest, it occurs all along the Himalayas. This alpine forest occurs all along the Himalayas with above 2400 meters altitude. So these forests are near these plant trees are grown near the along with the Himalayas with about 2400 meter altitude, right? Altitude is not which is rise above the mountain, the height above the mountain, and these are purely having coniferous trees. These are purely having coniferous trees. Oak, silver, fir, pine and juniper are the main trees of these forests. So in this alpine forest, these oak, silver fir, pine and juniper are the main trees which grow in this alpine forest. The eastern parts of Himalayas has large extent of this forest. So what part of Himalayas, children? Eastern parts of Himalayas will be having a very big extent of this alpine forest. Next, coming to the tidal forest. These forests occur in and around the deltas, estuaries and creeks prone to tidal influences, and as such are also known as delta or swamp forests. So these tidal forests, children, these tidal forests will be seen in and around the deltas, okay, which are open, which are exposed to tidal water influences, the wave tidal influences, and as such are also known as delta or swamp forests. They are also called as delta forest or swamp forest. The delta of the Ganga, Brahmaputra has the largest tidal forest. So the areas, the areas, territories of Ganga and Brahmaputra will be having the largest, the biggest tidal forest. And the deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari and Krishna rivers are also known for the tidal forest. So these are also the rivers. They are also like the water influenced areas, right? So these deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari and Krishna rivers are also known for their tidal forests, and these are also called as what? Mangrove forests. Tidal forests are also called as mangrove forest. Okay children, now we have discussed about 2.3 and 2.4 completely. Now with this 2.4 comes to an end. Now let us start with the 2.5 wildlife. Now 2.5 wildlife. The term wildlife includes animal of any habit in nature. The wildlife includes what? Animals, living beings, living movable animals of any habitat in nature comes under the wildlife term. Wild animals are non-domesticated animals and include both vertebrates. So wild animals means what? Non-domesticated, which is not utilized by the human, which is not under the human control, and they include both vertebrates. Vertebrates like fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. So all these are vertebrates and invertebrates. Bees, butterflies, moths, etc. It means these wildlife animals include fishes, birds, reptiles, mammals and also insects. Okay. Now India has a rich and diversified wildlife. Our India is having a very big diversified wildlife. We are having many animal varieties in our India. The Indian fauna consists of about 81,251 species of animals of the world's total of about 1.5 million species. So this one is a very important point, underline children. The Indian fauna is consisting of what? About 81,251 species. Indian fauna means what? Our animals are about 81 to 251 species of animals out of world's total of about 1.5 million species. So all over the world we are having 1.5 million species. In that 1.5 million species, India is having 81,251 species. The faunal diversity of the country consists of about 6,500 invertebrates. Now let us see in detail how many animals varieties we are having in India. We are having about 6,500 invertebrates, 5,000 mollusks, 2,546 fishes, 1,228 birds, 458 mammals. It is not like number, children. 458 means it is not like we are having 458 animals, like it is having 458 species, 458 varieties of animals. Okay, like that you have to consider the number. 446 reptiles, 204 amphibians, 4 panthers, and about 60,000 species of insects. This is a structural report of our Indian fauna. Okay. Now our country is home to tigers, lions, leopards and snow leopards, pythons, wolves, foxes, bears, crocodiles, rhinoceros, camels, wild dogs, monkeys, snakes, antelope species, deer species, variety of bison and the mighty Asian elephant. And next one is hunting, poaching, deforestation and other anthropogenic interferences in the natural habitats have caused extinction of some species and many are facing the danger of extinction. Excluding this number, we had in the past more and more number of species we were having in the past also, but everything came to an end because of hunting, poaching and deforestation. All these, because of all these like illegal things done by our humans, created a very big extinction of some species, and they still now, and still we are facing some danger of extinction for some species of animals. Still tigers, bears, snakes, everything are being hunted for their skin, nails and teeth. We have to stop that. In view of this and the role of wildlife in maintaining ecological balance, conservation of management of biodiversity of India is necessary at present situation. So to conserve, only these are remaining in our India now, and to save these, to save the remaining species of India, conservation and management of biodiversity of India, this should be necessary for the present situation, to at least save the extinction, which are in danger of extinction, the animals which are in the danger of extinction, we have to save that at least hereafter. Now the Indian Board of Wildlife, IBWL. The Indian Board for Wildlife was constituted in 1950. It was started in 1952 to suggest means of protection, conservation and management of wildlife to the government. So this IBWL is started in 1952 to suggest, to maintain the protection, conservation and management of wildlife by the government. Okay. The Government of India enacted Wildlife Protection Act in 1972. This Government of India also started the Wildlife Protection Act in 1972 with the objective of effectively protecting the wildlife of the country and to control poaching, smuggling and illegal trade in wildlife and its diversities. So this the Government of India started the Wildlife Act because of what? To protect the remaining species of wildlife in our country, and also to control, to stop the poaching, smuggling and illegal trade by killing the animals in the wildlife for their skin, and for some maybe the flesh, skin, nails and then their fur, their teeth, everything, tusks, everything are smuggled by the people. All those are for illegal trade, for the business purpose, illegal business purpose. So that is why this government has started this Wildlife Protection Act, just to stop all this poaching, smuggling and all these illegal businesses in the, which are related to the wildlife and its diversities. United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity CBD, Convention on Biological Diversity, in 1992, recognizes the sovereign rights of states to use their own biological resources and to preserve the country's rich and diverse wildlife. A network of 102 national parks are about 515 wildlife sanctuaries across the country have been created. So, to preserve countries, the richest, every countries will be having their wildlife as rich treasure, right? The same way, to save our country's rich wildlife diversity, a network of 100 and a group of 102 national parks and about 505 wildlife sanctuaries across the country have been created. It means 102 national parks and 515 wildlife sanctuaries were started only to protect the animals which are living, wild animals which are living all over, not to get into the danger of extinction level. Okay. Next, biosphere reserves of India. Biosphere reserves are protected areas of land coastal environments wherein people are an integral component of the system. The Indian government has established 18 biosphere reserves in India, which protect larger areas of natural habitat and often include one or more national parks, preserves, along with buffer zones that are open to some economic uses. 11 of the 18 biosphere reserves, like Gulf of Mannar and Nanda Devi, the Nilgiris, Nokrek, Pachmari and Simlipal, Sundarbans, Agastya Malai, Great Nicobar and then Kanchenjunga and Amarkantak. So, all these places of India fall under the list of man and biosphere program of UNESCO. So, here I have given a tabular chart, children. I think it is not there in the textbook. So, this tabular column is like what are the biosphere reserves and in which state it is located. So, if you go through this, it will be very easy for you to identify the biosphere reserves, their names and where it was located. Okay, children. And here two maps were given. Actually, in our textbook, both biosphere and wildlife reserves of India were given in the same map. Here I have given two maps which is dividing the wildlife separately and the biosphere separately. So, biosphere means, here look, the biosphere reserves in India, they have given the states and also they have marked the green and red. And in this side, the left side, some wildlife reserves in India, it's given like along with the trees and the animals. Trees are like national parks, tiger means wild sanctuaries, and here another parrots means bird sanctuary, and red dot is for marine park. So, these are the maps for you to refer for the exam, children. So, with this, the lesson is completed. Unit 2, that is climate and natural vegetation of India, is completed. So, children, I think everybody has understood the unit 2, this lesson, and if you have any doubts, please feel free, and you can ask any teacher who is available for you to teach the concept again. If you are not understood, underline the hard words while reading. If you don't know, you search for the meaning in the Google. If you don't get the meaning or if you don't understand still further, you can ask us directly. Feel free. And then till that, I have taught you, I have typed the whole lesson as a PPT and I have read each and every line and I taught you. The same way, you also should read each and every line and then prepare for the exam. Okay, children, all the best. Stay safe at your home. Don't come out. Don't be careless because of these COVID issues. Don't be careless, children. Take it into serious notice. Wash your hands regularly. stay away from outside people, stay safe at home, even at home, maintain the hygiene. Okay. And thanks for being with me. This is your Priya ma'am signing off from Alpha Group of Institutions. Thank you, children.